What is going on, my beautiful friends? Thank you so much for joining me on another edition of Trail Talks. Today, we are headed to the mountain biking mecca of Toronto. I know that sounds funny, but there's actually some pretty darn good riding in Toronto at the Don Valley Trail Network. This is a chapter out of my book, The Best Mountain Bike Trails in Canada, available now on Amazon for all of the best mountain biking trails in Canada in one place, your official Canadian guidebook. And I know what you're thinking. The mountain biking mecca of Toronto, well, it's definitely not a mountain biking mecca, Toronto, but it does have a pretty sick and vast trail system known as the Don Valley that us locals from the area know about. And this place is actually so much fun. Don't expect big DH runs here, but expect lots of gnarly, janky little trail features, lots of fun XC, and some really fun little descents. The descents here, you're only looking at about 20 to 30 seconds max, but this place is just loaded with drops and jumps, some woodwork, some G-outs, just a great place to ride bikes when you're in the city. So if you are ever visiting Toronto or you are in the area, make sure to visit the Don Valley. This place is absolutely sick, and there is a trail for everybody. The one thing I should mention first before we get into it, unfortunately, there is a lot of construction going on in the Don right now. I think they are putting a subway line right through that. So most of these trails will not be impacted, but some of them could be impacted. So plan ahead. This place has about a billion parking lots. It's a huge, vast trail network, so make sure you plan ahead and you know what you're going to ride, and try and read the Trail Forks reports or get in on the Facebook group of the Don and ask some questions if you need to know anything about this magical place. So, this place is in the heart of the big city, the Don, which used to be just a dumping ground. This is the place where you'll find old construction material built into trail features. And you know what? Even though this place is in the big city, it's got a trail for everyone, and it has some damn fun riding. It is not the big mountains, but it has some damn fun riding. I have had so many good days chilling out in the Don. Let us start with where the beginners might want to ride. Beginners, you guys are going to want to more stick to the Boo Trail green, Southern Flats green, the Beaver Flats blue. All these kind of trails are just gentle. They go along the river, so not too much of an elevation gain. It's kind of flat going down by the river. Not much in the way of trail features, but just great trails for beginners who want to, get a sample for the Don and get a sample for some single track. The next level up from that is actually one of my favorite blue trails in there, Trail Apples. So once you feel good on the flatter, greener trails, Trail Apples is up on a ridge and it rolls a bit more. Some of the most fantastic flow in all of Ontario, which sounds crazy that that's in Toronto, but it's just a great flowing trail. It goes up and down, and you don't have to pedal too much. This trail, if you're carrying a bit of your speed up the hills, so much fun. So Trail Apple Blue, that'll take you into Road Apples after, which is more of a green, wide open pathway. A fun little ride for a nice day through the forest. So Trail Apples, highly recommended. Dry Marsh Rider Blue, this trail goes through the marsh. I don't advise it when it's mosquito season, but such a beautiful little trail. Got some woodwork. It's also got one of the older growth trees you will find in all of southern Ontario. So go see if you can find that tree. It's not hard to find, but Dry Marsh Rider. Beautiful little blue trail. Another great blue trail is Secret Hidden Trail. This one's got some woodwork, some drops on it. Goes up and down a bit. Got some old woodwork kind of in disrepair. One nice little up and over the log that it takes a little balls to hit. So Secret Hidden Trail, another great blue. And after that, if you want to get into a little more spicy blues, you got the Pottery Road DH. Fun little descent, not, about 300, 400 meters, nothing too crazy. Just kind of no real trail features on it. Just a little taste of DH Enduro, which is nothing too crazy. After that, if you want to get into a little more descending line, you start at the Three Rocks DH. So this you can park at the big grocery. I believe it's a Loblaws there. You can park and hit the Three Rocks DH. So this is where the real fun starts. For those who are a bit more intermediate, you might want to park at the Three Rocks DH. I believe it's Three Rocks to Redwood, something like that. Three Rocks DH. And that'll take you on to Sanitation Plant, which is a classic Don trail that takes you up. It's got some ups and downs. and then it will take you to another Dawn Classic Blue rated the Ridge. The Ridge is a classic trail. It has some old woodwork that may be in disrepair. It's got some drops on it. It's got some G-outs. It's another Dawn you're going up. It's called the Ridge, so you're on a ridge. You're going up and down the ridge. But this is where the fun starts. You start at the Three Rocks DH, which is a nice descent. Then you get into Sanitation Plant, which has some nice moments on it. It's got some nice Techinar. I believe they took all the trees off the one hill. Sanitation Plant was one of the trails ruined by the construction. I have not been out there in a couple years. But Three Rocks DH to Sanitation Plant, then onto the Ridge. So this, you're kind of going up on the ravine walls. Then you're getting into the good stuff. Catalyst. So this one is single black. Now you start getting a little ledgy. Some of these trails on Catalyst, you can actually, I forget the trail, it might be called Topo. It's a little double black trail you can use to access Catalyst. It is just this narrow thing. It is the most narrow thing you've ever seen. Do not fall off to your right. You will be rolling down quite a significant hill. So if you decide to take that trail, I believe the double black Topo, which leads on to Catalyst, be careful. Anyways, once you get onto trails like Catalyst and the classic Party Atmosphere, you are dealing with a little bit of ledgy moments at times. There can be a little bit of a drop off. That is the one thing about the Dawn. It's quite exposed in some parts. So once you're up on the single black Catalyst or Party Atmosphere, you got to watch for a bit of a drop off to your right. You will find difficult, punchy climbs on these trails. Also some nice rooted technical moments, fun little descents, little jumps sprinkled throughout these trails. So these trails are so much fun. And at the end of Party Atmosphere can get quite technical with some tough little punchy climbs. It also has some steep down sections which are quite fun, some really good G-outs, and some really, you can just get some little nice steep down sections. And then Party Atmosphere will take you to the final portion of it, which is called Party Down, which is absolutely a fun little ripper from the top of the Dawn. Once again, only about 200, 300 meters down, but you can get some nice little drops over some old construction material. And then it ends Party Down with a nice bermy, flowy combo that you can boot off the last berm at the end. Quite a fun little trail. So quite a great line for those of you looking to get a little spicy. Three Rocks DH to Sanitation Plant, to the Ridge, to Catalyst, to Party Atmosphere, to Party Down. That is quite a fun line for the intermediate riders and up. Actually, you know what? To get on Party Atmosphere, you're going to want to be a little bit more of a skilled rider. You don't have to be a pro, but know that Party Atmosphere will challenge you a bit. That is a challenging single black Dawn trail. Anyways, my friends, if you like the flavor of that, you will also love a trail called Climax. That is a single black trail. Lots of little opportunities to catch air on this trail with a huge rock booter on the end. One of the Dawn's most infamous trail features. So you can get big air off that rock at the end. Just a short little trail. You do a climb up, then you do a bomb down. So all these trails are just short little climbs in the sense. And if you like Climax, now we're getting into the real classics of the Dawn. You got single black Trash Panda. Now this one is kind of a difficult single black for the Dawn. This one has a huge geo. It's got gap jumps. It's got some big size drops on it. So Trash Panda, I would say this is kind of a spicier black in the Dawn. It starts off with a couple of gap jumps that you need a good amount of speed to clear these gap jumps. There used to be bridges there, but the bridges are gone now, so now they're gaps. So it starts off with some gap jumps, then it goes into like a jump line where you got like 5 jumps in a row. Those are all pretty easy. And then there's like a massive geo, and then there's a couple of drops, and there's one sick drop towards the end. It's kind of a fair size drop, so expect a huge geo, some jumps, some gap jumps, and some drops. Really fun trail. Trash Panda, once again, another up and downer. They're all up and down here. If for this place, for you to earn your descent, you got to go up to go down. After that, we get into one of the most classic trails in the Dawn, the double black Roller Floaster. This one actually starts off with a decent amount of flow. It feels like it actually has a decent amount of descent. You're hitting some nice hills before you get into some jumps and some drops, and then you actually get into what is the classic Roller Floaster section where you're going up, down, and over these roller floastery things. Quite fun riding for Toronto, really. Quite epic riding. I'm going to be out here in the next few days when things are finally drying up. So Roller Floaster, classic double black. Not much harder than I would say the single black Trash Panda. But for me, I'm really into Climax Black. Trash Panda Black, Roller Floaster Double Black. That's kind of where I live. So anyways, Roller Floaster, got some sweet drops on it, got some sweet jumps, some new wooden features on it. So it's got like a sick kind of wall ride berm thing on it. And the first half of the trail is a lot better. The first half of the trail is pretty sweet, a lot of descending. The second half of the trail is some annoying climbs to get back on the downs, but some sick little air opportunities on this trail. Definitely a classic. Those of you looking for more of an adventure ride, you got to ride the single black Motown over to Moortown. So Motown is kind of a classic old school trail. Climb up the ridges, bomb down, climb up the ridges, bomb down. Starts with some good flow, some good turns. Got a little river gap jump on it. Not too much in the way of trail features. A nice G out on it. There's some nice little droppy things, but those looking to catch some air, Moortown. So you go Motown. Motown is a long ride. It's about 4 kilometers something. A lot of elevation drop and gain on this one. So after you're done with Motown, after you're done with Motown, you get onto Moortown, single black. Moortown is a pretty friggin' sweet trail. This one has lots of jumps in a row, about 2 jump lines on it, so really fun little bit of drop and jumps. And then after that, you can make your way back on the other side of the river. You got classic trails like Dr. Quads, which has some ridiculously old, decrepit, almost impossible woodwork. And you got trails like Razor's Edge and Boomerang on that side. So more fun single black trails across the river. So Motown and Moortown, kind of a ways away from the main area. So if you ride out here, and you can keep riding out here, there's like kitchen sink out here. There's so many friggin' trails out here. Like, this is just all of my favorite stuff in the Don. The Don has so many trails. So Motown to Moortown for a great little backcountry adventure, even though you'll be by the highway and stuff. It's not that backcountry, but it kind of feels like Motown is my backcountry adventure through the Don. Motown to Moortown, these are very fun single black trails. Then across the tracks, there is more fun single black trails like Dr. Quads and Boomerang and Razor's Edge, which are not used quite as much as these more main area ones. Anyways, for those of you looking for some jumps, you got some sweet little jump lines in here too. You know, nothing too crazy. 5-6 jumps in a row. So you got Leviathan black, Jump the Gundy black, Behemoth double black. All fun little jump trails you can seek out along the way. I believe, the Gundy DH2 has about 3 or 4. It starts with a nice drop. So there's a lot of little nice jump lines sprinkled throughout the Don. Those of you looking for the double black final bosses, there is a newer trail called Yukon Striker. This trail has some absolutely intimidating moments. One huge drop going into big jumps. So this one did not look good to go for me. It was too dry and dusty that day. The landing was all steep off this huge drop. I will be there this year when the conditions are more moist and favorable, because Yukon Striker was brand new last year. Hopefully it's a little more bedded in now, a little less silty, and a little more, can handle the impact of that drop. The other final boss you're going to want to ride is Danaconda. This one has a bunch of climbing on it. This one is kind of a technical beast for the Don. Has some gap jumps on it. Has some technical moments on it. Kind of some techie climbs that'll burn you out. But those of you looking for harder Don double blacks, you're looking at Yukon Striker and Danaconda. There is so much good riding in the Don. This is a vast trail network. So if you're going out there, make sure you have a guide, or make sure you have your trail forks on so you can properly navigate this place, because there is about 1 billion parking lots, and there are so many more trails than this. There is just riding for everyone. If you just want to stay by the river, if you're a beginner, and just chill. If you want to get up on the ravine walls and get a little greasy, there is all sorts of gnar moments in this place. This place is absolutely sick. Anyways, my friends, this video is dragging on long, and I am tired as F. You have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Peace.